welcome to week 5 of our Tales and Tales summer reading program. If you guys have signed up for summer reading and have gotten your Tales and Tales bag, you're going to want to grab that and pull out your week 5 craft. You can also pull out your yellow sheet and turn to week 5 if you want to follow along with the instructions on the sheet as well as watching the video. All right, so go ahead and pull out your supplies and we will get started. All right, guys, so we have pulled our things from our bag. We're going to take one of the papers that we have inside. If you unwrap this paper wrapped item, you will find that it is actually a oil pastel in black. So we are actually going to use that in just a minute. You're also going to have an outline of an animal that comes from Africa. You can use this or not if you want to cut it out and use it as either part of our art project or as just inspiration. And you're going to have your toothpick, which we're going to use as a scratching implement for our scratchboard once we're done. So first of all, what we're going to want to do is grab some beautiful crayons. Also, if you do happen to have like oil pastels or some like really nice waxy colored pencils, those will probably work as well. And you're going to want scissors if you're going to use your animal silhouette. So we're going to start with our crayons, and we're basically just going to color some really beautiful bright designs onto our paper. You're going to want to fill that up, and we're going to want to press pretty hard as we go. So that it's just really smooth and lovely. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to fill up this whole page, and then I will show you how to do the oil pastel. All right. All right, so this is my colorful underdrawing. Really, if you make smaller sections of color, then you might get more color showing through after we do the scratching. But I think this is a pretty good example. So now we are going to go back to our oil pastel. And what we're going to do is, again, we are going to color over the entire surface of what we did. And again, you're going to want to press pretty hard, but not as hard as to break it, because the oil pastel is a little bit easier to break than crayon, so you are going to want to be careful of that. And if you end up getting into the paper, you're just going to want to start peeling the paper back as you go. I wouldn't take it all off at once because this does get very messy. You might actually also want to put something like under your paper as you get towards the edges, because you don't want to make a mess on your table. Okay, let's get started with this. Okay, so I think that this is also a pretty good example. Like, I could cover it better, but I think that for showing you guys how to do it, this is pretty good. As you can see, I did break my crayon and have gotten myself more messy. It will wash off, so it's not the end of the world if that happens. But like I said, just be careful if you don't want to have to deal with that. Okay. So next what we're going to do is if you want to use your animal, this would be the time to cut that out. Otherwise, you can just sort of think about like the design that you want to scratch into your scratchboard. Obviously, I'm going to be using the animal, so mine is going to be like a little landscape scene. Also, now if you have like some scratch paper that you want to sort of like test out designs on before just starting on the actual scratchboard, now would be a good time for that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my lion here, maybe standing on some rocks and overlooking like a landscape. So I'm going to start with him, and I'm going to kind of just outline All right. right, so there is sort of the outline of my lion, and we're going to have him standing on a nice rock here. Kind of like if you guys have seen The Lion King, it's going to be like Pride Rock a little bit. All right. You can also leave your animal completely black if you want to do your animal in silhouette. I'm just going to make mine a very colorful lion. And again, this is a good time to have some scratch paper, because like if you get a lot of oil pastel on your scratcher, you can just take it off on your scrap paper, and that can make this process a little easier too. Right, and you can see where the quick changes in color mean that when I scratch off, we get a lot of different colors, as opposed to the big areas where it's maybe not as exciting. So if you want to do extra planning in your before steps, that can be cool too. I think that is not bad for just to show you what a really quick art project we can do with this. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. It is one of our messier crafts, so be prepared for that when you start. You should have enough oil pastels that you can probably do a second sheet. So if you aren't totally happy with your first one, go ahead and try again. I would love to see what you guys all do, and I hope that you enjoy. Remember to join us again next week, and also remember to continue logging your reading minutes into READsquared, because you want to get those badges, those prizes, and those raffle tickets. All right, thanks again for joining us, and I hope to see you next week. Bye, guys.